Okay, y'all. I promised that I would try my best, and I really thought this was going to take me longer to get up. Y'all are not going to like what I have to say. This is on Anthony Joshua versus Dylan Whyte. Who will win? What is my opinion? And like I said, y'all are not going to like my response to this. Both guys, from watching their videos, looking up the quality of fighters they fought, knowing that they both are fighting guys who are either green, have a lot of losses on the record, or they're fighting guys looking for a paycheck and on their way out. And the way that they fight them and their style, I don't like either fighter. Both fighters have a lot of room to go. Neither one of the, in fact, the guy that fought Klitschko, Brian Jennings, I believe that he would, if not beat both of these guys, knock them both out within the first 6 rounds. I believe, and to me, Brian Jennings was too green to fight a guy like Klitschko. But and for you UK fans, if either one of these dudes fight Tyson Fury right now, they'll both lose. They'll lose bad, real bad. Like it's not even going to be competitive after the first 2 rounds type bad. Now, I'm going to tell you the flaws that I wrote down in both fighters before I get to it. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm nitpicking, even though I kind of am. I'm just trying to tell y'all that it's too much hype and not enough anything. All right, this is what I looked at for the negatives with Joshua. Then I'll get to the negatives with Whyte. The negatives with Joshua, I see he is very flat-footed. When he is in the ring, he is never on his tippy toes. He is always flat to the ground. All right. His defense is bad because he doesn't keep his hands up at least chin level. He'll start off like this, but as he starts to fight, his hands start to droop. Not only do they droop down low, but he doesn't even keep them here. He keeps one below the other. So basically, if I was coming in against a guy like this, you can literally take your jab hand, and instead of jabbing, you can use an angle. You can take his jab hand and push it down. You push that shit down into his backhand. Now you got both hands down. You come over with an overhand right. Bow. Hit him. A real good fighter would expose Joshua for that. So that's a defensive flaw right there. Like I said, his hands are very low. Joshua does not use angles. He likes to chase, which can be bad, especially against somebody with knockout power because you're coming towards him. And when he chases, he comes straight forward, flat-footed. So he's coming towards you. He's never coming around you. He's never angling. When he throws his knockout punch, which he does have a lot of power, I give him that, especially since the way that he throws his punch, he's losing a lot of power actually, because when he throws that right, he likes to step with it. He'll step with it. Now, he's getting more body weight into the step, but what he's losing is balance. And if you could catch him, because there's no power until that foot hits the ground. Once that foot hits the ground, that right foot hits and he connects, then he's got the power. But if you can catch him as his shoulder's coming up and that foot's coming up, and you catch him, he'll be on his ass, even off a weak shot because he has no balance because he's only got one foot there. He's got pretty good head movement and decent body movement when he's coming forward, which is good because, like I said, he doesn't angle around you. He just chases forward. Now, another disadvantage I see is he gets extremely cocky, overconfident when he appears to hurt somebody. He gets into a headhunter mode, and if he fights a guy who's experienced, like say like a Mayweather type fighter, if a dude was to fake hurt and back up and be watching, not really hurt, but just wobble a little bit, appear to be hurt, and caught Joshua with that over cockiness, it would be bad for Joshua. Now, from what I watched with Whyte, the negatives, he likes to do what looks to be a shoulder roll style. I wouldn't say he's really Philly shell oriented because he doesn't hide completely around, but he does like to move his shoulder. With that being said, he keeps his jab hand real low, just like Joshua. And with the jab being that low, you got to bring this up, and it's an advertisement because I know when this comes up, when you're not here, you're gonna jab. But I will give him the fact that he does have a good jab. He has a very good bow, straight jab, and it's fast. Um, his movement, well, let's just say the negatives because I'm about to say a positive about him, how I wrote it down. His defense is kind of sloppy. And what I mean by that is when he gets into trades, he just goes wild. He doesn't really punch, watch, punch, punch, punch. He doesn't cover back. He just here. He's here. He's here. He's here like this the whole time. He's not boom, 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 boom. Here, 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 here. See what I'm saying? Like a lot of fighters, and I'm trying to get my point across with this. When they throw hooks nowadays, they throw around here, okay? So it's a long punch, so a straight can come straight through. How hooks used to be thrown back in the, say, 90s and below was when you're here, your angle. For one, you're looking like this, all right? A hook is not coming all crazy. Now, Mike Tyson used to jump with his hooks and do crazy stuff, but, you know, he was a cannon. But a safe hook, all it is you're here. You're already cocked because you got your jab, and then you could come straight down the pipeline, or you could turn with it. But watch my hands. I'm here. All I'm doing is bring the elbow up, and I can bring this out a little bit. It's just here. So at all times, boom, boom, boom. And when I throw an uppercut, a lot of people like to throw arm punches nowadays. They don't use their body. A punch comes from the body. That's where you generate the most force. That's what I was saying about Joshua, that he's actually losing a lot of it. Plus, when you use your pivots and you roll with the punches, it's like Mayweather. He never gets hit with a clean shot because while he's setting up the throw, he's always doing like this. He's always moving. Both these guys lack that movement. Now, another flaw that I see for Whyte is he lets people pressure him and he backs up a lot. He's constantly backing up. He's not controlling the center of the ring and he's not staying close to people. He's always like he can get bullied out the center. And when he gets into exchanges, he gets extremely from that crisp jab that he's got, he gets wild. He just wild throwing, like I said, just wild. So the good things between the two, Joshua has a lot of power, has a lot of knockout power, or at least at this point, it appears that he does. But like I said, it's like a Deontay Wilder. The competition is either on its way out looking for a paycheck, has a lot of losses, so they're not that good, and they don't really have that heart desire to fight with you, or they're not that good anyways. They're just newer fighters who ain't had no fights. So, judging off what he's fought, he has great power. But I don't know how great that power is because I see a lot of flaws in the way he throws punches where he's losing power. And the people he's fighting, you can't really dictate off of. Now, with Whyte, his best thing in this fight is the angles. He's going to do the angles. Who do I believe will win this fight off the limited that I've watched of these two and how unimpressed I am with either one, especially Anthony Johnson. As much hype as he gets in England, is much backing is behind his name, and then to look at him and watch him is very unimpressive, and I don't like the hype job. I would say in this fight, it's very hard for me because I have to decide who's the shittier fighter, which I don't like. I don't like feeling like I have to pick who the worst guy is because they're both, in my opinion, they're not I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not at that level yet. They're not experienced enough. They have bad habits. You know, if I saw them fight a Klitschko, a Tyson Fury, a Chisora, even though he retired, if he was to come back, a David Haye, if he was to come back, using David Haye and Chisora because they're both from UK, I think both these guys would get knocked out very quickly. And I don't like the fact that I have to pick who has the worst habits. But what I will say, I think Anthony Johnson, Anthony Joshua has the advantage. And the only reason why I believe he has the advantage is because I believe he has more punching power and Whyte gets too sloppy. Whyte is going to be extremely sloppy. Whenever they do the face off, he's smiling at him. So he's got that cockiness. So when he comes after Joshua, at least at first, he's going to come at him eventually. He's going to open up. And when he opens up, I think Joshua will floor him. And that's pretty much how I see it going. Now, if Whyte jabs Joshua, Joshua is just, he's wide open to the jab. And if he can't adjust to it, Whyte could jab him all night. He could just bow, 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 work off the jab. But watching how aggressive Whyte will get and how sloppy he gets, I doubt he will fight a smart fight. And for that reason, I believe Joshua will at least knock Whyte down one time. And if Whyte, depending on how hurt Whyte is after that first knockdown, will dictate if Joshua actually finishes him. But I think Joshua will end up winning on points. I don't think he'll knock Whyte out because, like I said, Whyte uses a lot of angles. So if Whyte does not get knocked out off that first knockdown, I think he'll go in defensive mode. He'll end up not being as active. He'll just jab his way away, and he'll fight, but he won't go in from there to win. He will be too hesitant and won't throw as actively. And that's really what I think is going to happen. Like I said, it's very hard. Whyte can come in there, use his angles, jab, and outbox Joshua. But what I really see happening is I see Whyte getting an early lead. And within the first 2 to 3 rounds, he's going to get overconfident. He's going to open up. Joshua's going to have been behind by a round, maybe 2 rounds at that point on points. And he's going to catch Whyte and knock his ass down. And that's going to even it out. And then from there, I think Whyte's going to feel that full blunt force and be like, what the fuck? And that cockiness is going to go out his head. And I think he's going to be hurt. I don't know how hurt he's going to be. But I think from then on, Joshua's going to have the fight in a bag. But what I want to say is, if Joshua beats Whyte and they put Joshua against a top, say, 5 in the world heavyweight, he's going to lose. He's either going to get knocked out or he's going to get embarrassed because he's not ready. But that's my 2 cents.